Hello, my dear students, and the rest of the learners. Welcome to part 7 of a 95-part series of tutorials in object-oriented programming in C++. In this tutorial, we are going to look at inheritance with our focus being on the types of inheritance, beginning or commencing with the simple inheritance. My name is Mehmet JM, or you can simply call me Emily Swap. What are the types of inheritance? The different kinds of inheritance depends on how a derived class is created. They include simple, multiple inheritance, multi-level, hierarchical, and hybrid inheritance. Let's commence by looking at simple inheritance, and we are going to look at the other types of inheritance in subsequent series of tutorials. Simple inheritance. The following is a description of simple inheritance and a simple program implementing simple inheritance. This is an inheritance that is created when only one derived class is created from a single base class. That is, the derived class derives its features from a single base class. Its syntax is usually as follows. We have a reserved word class, then the name of our derived class, then we have full colon, access specifier, base class, and semicolon. For example, if we have a base class called discourse and we want to derive a single class from it, or we want a single class to inherit the properties of the base class called discourse by the name result, then we can encode it as follows. So we have class followed by the name of our derived class. In this case, it is called result. Then we have full colon, and then the access specifier is public, and then we have scores, opening brace, then you can have your definition, then we have closing brace and a semicolon. It can be illustrated as follows using a diagram. We have the base class called discourse, and we have the derived class called result. So in this case, the derived class will look, as you can see, it will look as follows. So we have our base class. Our base class is scores, and our derived class is result. Therefore, result is going to inherit the properties of the class that is called discourse, and therefore, that's why we have this arrow that is pointing from result to scores. So that's called single or simple inheritance. It's simple. In fact, it's like talking about a single class inheritance. So the following is a sample program implementing simple inheritance, and it displays value 20 on the screen. So this program is almost similar to the one that we looked at in presentation number 36. So this program, the comment is it displays value 20 on the screen. We have hash include outstream, and then using namespace standard. The name of one base class is scores, and it has the following definition. It has one mark or one data member called mark of type integer. And then we have the following methods. And the name of this method is score value. It is going to receive a single parameter, which I'm calling assigned value, and is going to hold a value of type integer or receive a value of type integer. And this method is not going to return any value, and that's why it is called void. Now, when this function or when this method called score value receives the value that I'm calling assigned value, that value is going to be stored, or the value received is going to be stored in the memory location called mark. or in the data member called mark. And that's what this function or this method called score value is doing. Then we have another method called score display. It is going to return a value of type integer and it's not receiving any parameter. And the function or the purpose of this function is simply to pick the value in the member called or stored in the member called mark and return it to the calling a function. And that's the end of that class definition or the base class called discourse. Then we have simple inheritance, whereby the class called result is being driven from the public class called scores, which is our base class. And you can see this function has no definition. Its work is simply to inherit the properties or to inherit the data and methods, data member and methods that are in the class or that have been defined in the base class called discourse, meaning that the base class called or the derived class called result is going to perform almost all the functions of the class called discourse. And then we have our main function here, and we have the declaration of an instance for manipulating the members of the derived class called result. So we have object or obj of type result. And through this object or this instance for the derived class called result, we can be able to invoke the method in the base class called score value, and we are sending to it value 20. So when this statement is executed, that value is going to be brought and be received through by the function or by the method called score value. Is going to be received as assigned value. And therefore, that 20 is going to be assigned in the data member called mark. So that's what that statement is going to do when it is invoked. Then the control will be brought back the main function, and then the next statement will be executed. The next statement is invoking the method called score display through the derived class. Remember that the score display is a member of the base class called discourse, but because the class called result has been driven from scores, meaning that the class called result is able to access all the members, both the data and the methods of the class called discourse, then we can be able to invoke the method called score display, which has been defined in the class called discourse through the object for manipulating the derived class called result. And therefore, when this statement is invoked, then the function called score value, which is in the base class called discourse, will be invoked. It will be executed. And therefore, what is it going to do? It is going to return or pick the value in the member called mark, which is value 20, and return it to the calling function. And the calling function is main, and therefore that value will be brought in this statement here, and then through cout, it will be displayed on the screen. And that will be the end of the program, because return 0 tells the compiler to return the control back to the operating system and end the program. So let's see how this program is going to behave when executed in C++ program. So let's launch our C++ program. So here we are. And remember, you can always launch your program based on the version that you are using. So click on New Project, Win32, Win32 console, and I'm going to call my program or my project Simple Inheritance. So let me continue with my setting or launching of my program. Remember that I have explained in the previous presentations on how you can code your program in C++ 20 Express. If you're using any other version, you can still move on and start your C++ editor. So the name of my program is Simple Inheritance. Then I'll click on Add. From there, I'm going to copy my program and paste it here. So the program that we are going to code is this program. So you can always copy this program in your exercise book or just copy this program in your 1D processor program. And then you just copy it and paste it into your C++ editor. And therefore, once we are here, because I've coded my program, I have already copied this program of mine in a 1D processor. I'm going to copy my program from the 1D processor and just paste it here. So how do we go about that? So I'm going to launch or to open my document where I have typed my program. So this is my program. This is the program that I've already explained. So I'll just copy my program. I'll just copy my program that I've already coded. And then I'm going to paste it into my C++ editor. Remember, you are free also to just type your program or code your program directly on your editor. However, that's not good programming practice. It's always good to write your program on a piece of paper or code it in a 1D processor, go through your program, do even dry running, and then just copy your program or code it in your editor for C++ when you want to compile it and execute it. So once you have typed your program or you have copied your program and pasted it in your editor, you save it and then compile your program. Remember, compiling is the process of converting your source code into an object code. If your program has any errors or bugs, you'll have to rectify those bugs before you can continue or before the translator can be able to convert your source code into object code. So to compile our program using Microsoft Visual C++ 2010, you click on Build and then Build Solution. So let's see if our program has any errors, we are going to be informed. But if it has no errors, the translation or conversion will be successful. You can see from the output below, Build 1 succeeded. This means that our program has no errors. So once you have compiled your program and the compilation has been successful, to execute our program in Visual C++ 2010, you click on Debug, and then because it has no errors, we click on Start without debugging. So let's wait for the results. Good. You can see that our program is displaying value 20 on the screen. And as you have seen, this output has been displayed, or the program or the class through which this process has been successful of displaying value 20 on the screen is through the derived class. And therefore, the derived class called result has been able to access the data member of the base class called score. It has picked value 20 and displayed that value 20 on the screen, just as if base value 20 was a member of the derived class called result. And that's how we implement simple inheritance. So you save your program. And with that, my dear students and the rest of the learners, we have come to the end of part 7 of the series. You can now continue to part 8 of 95 of the series, in which we are going to be looking at the other type of inheritance that we call multiple inheritance in object-oriented programming implemented using C++. Congratulations for learning part 7 of 95 on simple inheritance in object-oriented programming. You can access videos for the other parts in object-oriented programming series, as well as other computer or ICT videos, by clicking or tapping on EmerySwap ICT YouTube channel below this video. Remember to subscribe to the channel by tapping on subscribe button below this video in YouTube if it's not currently reading unsubscribed. For any further correspondence, kindly write it to us through the email emeryswap@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening to me, and God bless.